So the Stormlight Archive books are pretty alright, right? Some good world building, some good character work, and some really just nice impactful moments. So I'm gonna focus on the one little thing about the series that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and that is the safe hand. Yeah, okay, so if you've never read the book series, there's this common thing that comes up amongst the quote Vorin religions. Women have what they call a safe hand, and it just means that I think the left hand is always covered, and as a result of this, it gains an erotic appeal and such to the men in that society. The thing is, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. By Brendan Sanderson's own admission, this kind of comes from the concept of the safe hand comes from the concept of foot binding from the ancient Chinese culture. But what a lot of people, especially authors, don't seem to realize is that culture exists mostly downstream from biology. There are reasons that foot binding is a cultural beauty practice that caught on, and there is no reason why the concept of a safe hand necessarily would. Foot bindings caught on specifically because they force the women that go through this incredibly painful procedure that I can't believe people actually went through, but whatever. But it forces these women to walk on the heels of their feet. And this in turn forces the muscles in the back of their leg, all the way up their legs, to always be taut. This has the common effect of raising women's, and there's no uncouth way to say this, butts up in a way that men find attractive. It also forces the women to move in such a way that men find attractive. It's a similar reason to why high heels are such a thing. Those have a similar effect as foot binding. Also why draenei seem to be so popular in World of Warcraft. So the concept of the safe hand doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because there's nothing about hands that really exists downstream from biology. Oh, there are the odd fetishists here and there, but that's not common enough to be really a cultural practice. Does this really matter? Not really. The point of the safe hand thing in Stormlight Archive seems to be making a point about how gender roles puts one hand literally behind some people's back. And I guess it's somewhat effective for that, for the metaphor it's trying to go for. It's just not entirely realistic. Not that I really have a bugbear for realism, but I do find it funny that when people complain endlessly of the sword forms not being correct, I'll be fine with, not dealing with being okay with a bastardization of basic biology. So, yeah. That was kind of pointless, as this is a fault that I don't really think is a problem.